Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Beta. Just a revision of the last topic.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, Beta, I had done linkages with you from the other PDF. Today we are going to revise linkage again. A very quick revision of the diagrams on your screen. Linkage. I told you how linkage is related to inheritance of principal parental characters and all. Strong linkage, weak linkage, all that. So just go through the diagrams. Let's discuss. We had talked about how genes are present on the chromosome. Do they have a physical association or not? All that will be a quick revision. In the next class, I'll be taking up discussing a few important questions of this chapter. I would expect you to give me the answers. Yes, beta, I hope you've gone through it. Linkages. Physical association of genes on the chromosome is called linkage. There could be a strong linkage, there could be a weak linkage. So if the linkage is strong, the parental characters transmitted will be more. And if the linkage is weak, the non-parental characters which are transmitted are always more. This is the most important thing we all need to remember about linkage. Okay. I'll be taking up questions in the next period, you'll understand. I have already discussed this with you. Physical association of the two genes on the same chromosome here, if you see this. Okay, this is linkage. We have recombination, we've got different characters. This is yellow, white, this is wild type. F1 generation, wild type, yellow, white. If you see, because of linkage, if the linkage is stronger over here in this case, so parental combination is coming around 98%. And recombinant, that is variation, is only 1.3%. Strong linkage. Let's talk about this over here. We are giving you an example of a weak linkage. So parental characters transmitted are only 62.8%. And the recombinants, recombinant matlab variants, variation wala progeny, that will be more, that is around 37.2%. Is it okay, children? I hope this concept is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
The thing is this only we need to remember beta. The frequency of recombination is higher if the genes are loosely linked. That is, if the linkage is weak, recombination frequency is more. And if the linkage is strong, the parental characters will be more. All the genes linked together in a single chromosome form one linkage group. Supposing we have 3 genes or 4 genes linked together on the same chromosome. So this group will be known as which group? This is known as a linkage group. The number of linkage groups in an organism is equal to the haploid number of chromosomes. How many linkage groups are present in an organism is equal to the haploid number of chromosomes. This idea was given by T.H. Morgan, and he proved it also by his experiments on Drosophila. He said that how many linkage groups can be present on a chromosome? That number is actually equal to the haploid number of chromosomes. Supposing let us talk about linkage groups in human beings. Can you guess the number of linkage groups? If I talk about the human set of chromosomes, human genome.
23.
23 pairs.
So this is haploid number or this is diploid number?
Haploid.
Haploid. So the number of linkage groups will also be equal to 23. Whose experiment is this? Who tried to prove this? Whose hypothesis is this?
Morgan.
T.H. Morgan.
Yes, beta. If you can see over here, he tried to do this. They hybridize the yellow-bodied and the white-eyed females. Okay, he's crossing this. Yellow-bodied and white-eyed females. What is the result now? With brown-bodied and red-eyed males. So he's doing a combination. And he intercrossed the F1 progeny also. What was the observation? That the two genes did not segregate independently of each other, and the F2 ratio derived was 9:3:3:1. Is this a normal dihybrid ratio?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Hmm?
ma'am.
Yes, this is a normal dihybrid ratio. So we saw that everything went normal in F1 generation. He's talking about in F2 generation, parental combinations were 98.7%, and the variation was only 1.3%. When he took this cross B, between these white, see, this was cross A that he did, and this was his conclusion. Okay, this was his conclusion. That in F2 generation, the normal ratio did not come. The normal ratio should have been 9:3:3:1. This is the normal ratio. But his conclusion in this cross was what, beta? Over here, when you observed, he saw that normally we said they will segregate. Okay, they did not segregate, first exception. Second exception was the F2 ratio should have been 9:3:3:1 because it was a dihybrid cross. But this ratio did not come. So two conclusions of the first cross. Number one, genes did not segregate independently. Who said? Whose laws were these? Law of segregation.
T.H. Morgan.
The law of segregation was given by whom?
Mendel's.
Mendel. So he said that this cross is not following Mendel's law in two ways. Number one, because the genes are not segregating, law of segregation is not being followed. And he also said that this normal ratio, which we got from Mendel, is not coming in this cross, although it's a dihybrid cross. Then he took another cross beta, if you can see over here. White-bodied female flies with miniature wings. Miniature means small wings. And male flies with yellow body and normal wings. Now, again, the parental combination came different. In the first case, parental combination was 98.7. In the second case, it was only 62.8. And the recombinants, the variants were 37.2%. So what was he trying to prove? That it is not always what Mendel said, that this ratio is going to come. This is not always true. It was proved that the crosses, that the linkage between the genes, this linkage is stronger or this linkage, cross A or cross B? According to this Morgan's results, tell me which linkage would have been stronger, linkage in cross A or linkage in cross B? You've got the ratios. In cross A, we got 98.7% parental combinations.
A.
And cross A beta. Very good. So this is what he said. He said we always will not get 9:3:3:1 ratio. It will depend a lot on the kind of linkage also. It will depend a kind of linkage also. How will it depend on linkage? Tell me if the linkage is stronger then.
Then parental combinations.
We cannot always say that what Mendel said will always be true. That in F2 generation, we'll always get this ratio. This doesn't happen. If the linkage is going to be strong, it will also depend upon linkage. So this linkage idea is mainly of Morgan, T.H. Morgan. See this, chromosomes maps or linkage maps. This part I've already done with you, sex determination. See this, Morgan's student he was, Alfred Stewart. Alfred Stewart, he was Morgan's student only. He worked on linkage only, obviously it was Morgan's student. He used the frequency of recombination between the gene pairs on the same chromosome. Now he's trying to find out the frequency of combination. Okay, frequency means number of cases, frequency. He's trying to find out how many gene pairs can combine on one chromosome. And he said this will be actually a measure of the distance between the genes. How many can actually get into linkage will depend upon the distance between the genes. Okay, what he's trying to say ki kitna linkage aayega, how many genes will link to find a linkage group will depend upon the distance between the genes. And he mapped the position on the chromosomes. He tried to map the position on the chromosome, on the same chromosomes. Now we use genetic maps as a starting point in the sequencing of whole genomes, like whole genomes. We take one chromosome, we know number one position with gene, number two position with gene. So he said it all depends upon the distance, okay? It will depend upon what? The distance. How many linkage groups will be there? Will depend upon the distance between the genes on the same chromosome. This linkage, you need to remember two things in two names, that's all. First, you should know what is linkage, physical association of two genes or more on same chromosome. Okay, and recombinations we get because of linkage, genetic inheritance basically. We talked about cross A, cross B. We say if this is more, then parentals are more. And if the linkage is weaker, the parental is low. Second thing we should remember about is Morgan. He did his experiments on whom? On Drosophila. This also we should know. Two deviations from Mendel's law. Genes did not segregate it. They kept linked to each other. They were linked to each other. They did not separate. And second, we always did not get the 9:3:3:1 ratio. This. One more thing, according to him, we said that hybrid thing you should remember, haploid one. And then the student, Morgan's student, Alfred Stewart. He said that the frequency of combination, how many genes will combine to form a linkage group will depend on the distance between the genes. How many linkage groups will be formed will depend upon what beta?
Distance
Distance between the genes.
Distance between the genes. Yes, beta, distance between the genes. We had done pedigree analysis that day. I was talking about genetic disorders. We're going to do Mendelian disorders. Okay. First is, I had also discussed about the difference between Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorders that day. Okay. If there's a difference between the number and structure of chromosomes, then it is called as a chromosomal disorder. Let's do this. We had started from this hemophilia. It is a sex-linked recessive disease which is transmitted from an unaffected carrier female to some of the male offsprings. The female is the carrier. She is hardly affected. Only 0.1% case females are hemophilic. They're just carriers. Okay. The mother, if she's a carrier, she will pass on this disease only to the male offspring, that is to the sons only. What happens in hemophilia? Patient continues bleeding even to a minor injury because there is a problem in the blood coagulation. Blood does not coagulate. That is why this disease is known as bleeder's disease, because the person keeps on bleeding. So it's known as bleeder's disease. Why does this happen? See, beta, the gene for hemophilia, this is located on the X chromosome. Okay, remember this. Gene for hemophilia is located on the X chromosome. What is the problem here now? We have to understand this. What happens in this disease? That there is a single protein. We have a cascade of proteins. Cascade means we have many proteins. Fibrinogen, we got so many proteins which help in the formation of clot, blood clot. Cascade means there is a team of proteins which are involved in the blood clotting process. Out of this, a single protein, there are many proteins, about 4 to 5 of them. So there is one single protein where we have a doubt. A single protein that is a part of the cascade of proteins involved in blood clotting is affected. Basically, what happens is one protein makes the other protein active. And then the second protein makes the third thing active. This is how happens. Prothrombin, thromboplastin, fibrinogen, fibrin. There are so many things which are associated with blood clotting beta. One will change into another only in the presence of one protein. So what happens is there is a cascade of proteins. There is a group of proteins which are involved in blood clotting. Out of that entire group, एक protein में कुछ problem हो गया, it is not being produced. So the possibility of a female becoming a hemophilic is extremely rare. Okay, why is it so rare? We just discussed. Because the mother of such a female has to be at least the carrier and father should be hemophilic. There is only 1% chance that a female suffers from hemophilia, and she will suffer from hemophilia only if the mother is a carrier and the father is hemophilic. This condition, beta, see this. The mother was already a carrier and the father is already hemophilic. We said it is present on the X chromosome. So this X must have come from father. So father is already hemophilic. I had discussed with you, I think earlier also, the family pedigree of Queen Victoria. She's a carrier of hemophilia, shows a number of hemophilic individuals in the royal family. The females, they are carriers, and the sons, they are affected. What is the other name of hemophilia?
Bleeder's disease.
Very good. It's called Bleeder's disease. And this happens because there is a group of proteins which are involved in blood clotting. And for some reasons, one of the proteins is not being produced. So if one of the proteins is not being produced, it is certainly going to affect the production of the other proteins also. So the clot does not form. Remember, it is fibrin which is involved in blood clotting. And fibrin is formed from fibrinogen. For fibrinogen to become active, we have more reactions, prothrombin, thromboplastin, there are many other reactions. So just remember this, that there is a group of proteins and one protein is not there. And this hemophilic cause gene is always present on which chromosome?
X.
X chromosome. Very good. So who are the carriers, males or females?
Females.
Yes. Yes, females are carriers, and the people who are affected are always the males only. There is 1% chance, very rare chance, where a female would be hemophilic. Tell me the case. Mother would be what? Father would be what?
Mother will be carrier and father
Mother
will
would be carrying father would be hemophilic.
affected.
Yes, very good. Father is already affected, he's already hemophilic, and the mother is a carrier. Only in this case, we can have females hemophilic. Just remember this thing, that this gene which causes hemophilia is present on the X chromosome. Mother is already a carrier. This X must have come from father. He's already hemophilic. Let's talk about color blindness, children. This is again a sex-linked disorder, which results in defect in either red or green cones of eye. We have different eye colors, cones. So either there is a defect in the red cone of the eye or there is a defect in the green cone of the eye. Okay. This does not mean that the person, color blindness does not mean that the person cannot see colors at all. It is only that the person is not able to differentiate between red and green color. So if we say this person is colorblind, iska matlab ye nahi hai, he cannot see any colors. It is only that he cannot differentiate between which two colors?
Red and blue.
Yes, beta. Same case here also. Gene for color blindness is also present on which chromosome?
X chromosome.
X chromosome.
Good. Let's have a little different over here. It is present mostly in males because of the presence of only one X chromosome as compared to two chromosomes in females. See, in males, we have how many X chromosomes?
1,
One. And in females?
2,
Yes. So males, we have presence of only one chromosome. In females, we have two chromosomes. Supposing we have a heterozygous female. Heterozygous female. She's a carrier. Let us assume that she's a carrier. So she will pass on this disease again to some of the sons only. She will pass on the same cases coming here. It is on X chromosome. So mainly the females are hemophilic, but the people who are affected are the males only. Let's talk about this. Carrier woman, normal man. See, this is XX. XC means she's a carrier. And this is a normal man. We've not written C over here. Let's have the gametes. This is X and this is XC. This is a carrier one and these are normal. So this cross will give you a normal girl, a normal boy. But if this one is coming XC, then the person is going to be a carrier girl. But if it is a boy, then it is going to be a colorblind boy. Females would be carriers and the affected ones would be male. In such a case, mother is a carrier, father is a normal. So girls, if this X wala is coming without carrier, then both are normal. But if this C wala thing is coming, then the chances are that the girl is there. If the offspring is a girl, then it is a carrier. So hemophilia and color blindness, both beta, they're called crisscross inheritance. What are these inheritance called as?
crisscross inheritance.
The reason, I'll tell you the reason, because from the females, they are passed on to the males. It is the mother who is the carrier, but she will not pass it on to the daughters. She will pass it on to who? Sons. Whom will she pass on this disease to? Sons, beta. That is why this inheritance is known as which inheritance?
Crisscross inheritance.
Yes, beta. It is a crisscross inheritance. Because सीधा सीधा नहीं है. It is not that the mother is passing it on to the daughters. It's cross. How is it a cross? Mother is not going to pass it on to the daughter. Rather, she's going to pass it on to whom? Yes. Give me two examples of crisscross inheritance, children. I'll be making you draw these flowcharts probably in the next period and a few questions to be done. Give me two examples of crisscross inheritance.
Hemophilia and color blindness.
Yes. The genes for both of them are located. There are a lot of similarities. Both of them are crisscross inheritance. In both of them, the genes are located on?
X chromosome.
Yes, beta. They're located on the X chromosome. Very good. And females are carriers or they're affected?
Carriers.
Very good. And the males are?
Affected.
So these are both a kind of sex-linked diseases. We call them as sex-linked diseases because sex plays an important role. Mother will pass it on to sons only. Sickle cell anemia. This is an autosomal linked recessive trait. Okay. Autosomal recessive trait means, will it be related to gender? Autosomes. You remember
No,
autosomes?
ma'am.
We
Yes,
are not
ma'am.
using the word sex-linked trait. We are using the word which trait? Yes, very good. This is autosomal recessive trait. So basically, the earlier ones we called the crisscross inheritance were all sex-linked diseases. The mother is going to pass on the disorder to the son only. not to the disorder. So hemophilia, and the second case we did was
Color
color.
blindness.
चलिए ये देखते हैं. This is an autosomal linked recessive trait. It is transmitted from parents to the offspring. See, nowhere it is written mother. It is simply written parents. When both the partners are carriers for the gene. This is possible only if both are carriers. In these cases, हमेशा mother is the carrier. In this case, both are carriers. This disease is controlled by a single pair of allele HBA. HB power A and HB. This is a pair. So one pair is HB, capital H, capital B, and other is capital H, small b to the power. What is this? A. Only homozygous individuals for HBS show this disease phenotype. Supposing this combination comes beta, both of them are SS, sickle celled, then the child will be infected. The heterozygous individuals, they are only carriers. So only in one gene, one pair of allele, only one is suffering from sickle cell anemia, then the other is not, then they will be carriers. And if both of them are carrying it, then obviously they will pass it on to the baby. See this is a normal gene. This is the amino acid composition. Okay, this is a beta chain of hemoglobin. If you can see this chain, what is this chain?
Beta chain.
Yes. चलिए आप देख के बताइए बेटा. This is the beta chain of a normal person and this is the beta chain of a person who is suffering from sickle cell anemia. I'll give you 2 minutes. Observe the chain and tell me the difference. Just observe the chains. Tell me. Yes, beta. Did you understand something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, try. Tell me, beta.
Ma'am, on normal beta chain, on 6th number, it is glucose, and on affected, it is PL.
Very good, very good. We are talking about which chain, children?
Beta chain.
Beta chain.
Yes, very good. We're going to talk about a beta chain. What is happening over here? Let's observe it. I think this child has already observed it and seen. We're talking about the normal chain. What all is there in a normal chain? All these things in process should be drawn actually, beta. I'll try and make it next video. This is normal beta chain of hemoglobin. If you see on 6th position, we have this glutamic acid, GLU, glutamic acid. What is the GLU? इतना लर्न करने की जरूरत नहीं, बस इतना याद करिए. In a normal individual at the 6th position we had glutamic acid, but now here it has changed to valine. Okay, if you see this figure over here, let me show it to you. VAL, what is written over here? Yes. So you have to remember only this. It is caused by the substitution of glutamic acid. Substitution of glutamic acid at which position? Yes, 6th position. And it is substituted by what, beta?
Valine.
Yes, it is substituted by valine. So this change has come. Because of this, we are going to have dekho bache. And which chain is this?
Beta chain.
And why this change has come? Let us understand this also. The 6th codon was GAG. What was the 6th codon? Over here, 6th codon, GAG. But this changes to GUG. It should have been GAG. If the codon was GAG, glutamic acid is formed. But एक छोटा सा चेंज हो गया, एडेनाइन की जगह यहाँ पे यूरिसिल आ गया, GUG कॉम्बिनेशन आ गया. ओके, GAG, ग्यूनाइन, एडेनाइन, ग्यूनाइन, ग्यूनाइन, यूरिसिल, ग्यूनाइन. सो एक ही जगह जब U आ गया, सो इन प्लेस ऑफ ग्लूटामिक एसिड व्हाट इज बीइंग फॉर्म्ड?
Valine.
वेलाइन. ठीक है, चलिए इसको समझ लेते हैं बेटा. It is caused by the substitution of glutamic acid by valine at the 6th position of the beta globin chain. Substitution of GAG to GAG to what was it? GUG. Now this is a mutant hemoglobin molecule. Mutant means change, badla hua. This is not a normal hemoglobin molecule. It is a changed molecule now because ये जो 6th position में change आया because of that. Now this molecule, it will start undergoing polymerization. जैसे ही low oxygen होएगा बेटा, okay, it will cause polymerization. मतलब long chain बनाता जाएगा. One molecule with another hemoglobin, a long chain of hemoglobin molecules under low oxygen. And whenever there is low oxygen और ये normal hemoglobin नहीं है, so it will change the shape of the RBCs. Hemoglobin, you know, is present in the RBCs, so it is going to change the shape of RBCs. Normal shape होता है biconcave. बट ये इसको सिकल की तरह बना देगा. सिकल यू नो जो घास काटते हैं ऐसे क्वेश्चन मार्क की तरह होता है. हैव यू सीन सिकल?
Yes, ma'am.
I am not getting the Hindi word exactly, but it looks like a question mark. So this is yes. So the normal shape of RBCs is biconcave, but वो कैसा हो जाता है? Sickle shape. Remember, the disease which is caused is located on the 11th chromosome. What is it located on?
11th chromosome.
Yes, 11th chromosome. This disease is beneficial to people who are living in malaria-prone areas. Malaria-prone areas because अगर ये इस तरह का shape होगा, तो जो आपका mosquito आपका bite करके जो छोड़ के जाता है, वो survive नहीं करता बेटा in this shape. That is why it is useful for people who live in areas जहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा malaria होता है. So color blindness we had already done. We were talking about sickle cell anemia. This is not a sex-linked disease. This is an autosomal disease. Okay, this is the normal chain. This is the affected chain. It is caused by the substitution of what? Which acid, children? Glutamic acid. And it is substituted by what? Substituted by
Valine.
Valine.
valine. At which position? Which position? Yes, it is the 6th position. And this is happening because GAG की जगह क्या बन गया है? You have GUG. So remember, this is the reason why we have it. And also this to remember, beta. Normal shape of RBCs क्या था?
Biconcave.
It become?
Sickle.
Sickle cell.
Also remember that the gene is located on which chromosome?
11th chromosome.
Let's talk about another autosomal disease. Means it is not related to sex at all. Thalassemia. This is also an autosomal disease. This causes because there's a change in the genes. इसमें क्या problem आता है? ये भी hemoglobin chain से related है. Reduced rate of synthesis of one of the globin chains of hemoglobin. वहाँ पे hemoglobin chain के structure में change आ रहा था बेटा. 6th position में glutamic acid की जगह valine आ गया था. But यहाँ पे structure में change नहीं आ रहा है. Tell me, किस चीज में change आ रहा है in this case? Read about thalassemia, then let me know. It is not the change in structure of the hemoglobin chain. Then what is the change?
Rate of synthesis.
Rate of synthesis. जिस speed से hemoglobin molecules बनना चाहिए to form a hemoglobin chain, that speed is going slow. Rate of synthesis का मतलब ये. Synthesize the speed or the rate at which they should be produced. वो कम हो रहा है बेटा. It should be जितना normal होना चाहिए उससे क्या हो जा रहा है? It is being less. वहाँ पे structure में change आ रहा था hemoglobin molecule में. यहाँ पे सिर्फ हमारा जो number है उसमें difference आ रहा है. So remember the difference between both of them. Anemia is the main feature of this disease. So if anybody is suffering, then remember anemia is the feature. There are two forms of thalassemia. Alpha thalassemia. Okay, Let's do this. Alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia. What is alpha thalassemia? Production of affected alpha globin chain, which is governed by the gene on 16th chromosome. बस chromosome number का याद रखना है हमको. Alpha thalassemia is production of affected alpha globin chain. The chain is already affected, मतलब उसका production कम हो रहा है. And this is governed by which chromosome? 16th chromosome. 16th chromosome पे जो जीन होती है वो कंट्रोल करती है प्रोडक्शन ऑफ अल्फा ग्लोबिन चेन. तो अगर 16th उस जीन में प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है जो 16th क्रोमोसोम में है, तो किसके प्रोडक्शन में डिक्रीज होएगा, अल्फा ग्लोबिन या बीटा ग्लोबिन चेन? अल्फा ग्लोबिन. एंड देयर इज वन जीन व्हिच इज लोकेटेड ऑन द 11th क्रोमोसोम जो कंट्रोल करती है प्रोडक्शन ऑफ बीटा चेन. तो अगर उस जीन में प्रॉब्लम आएगा जो 11th क्रोमोसोम में है, तो बीटा चेन का प्रोडक्शन कम होएगा, तो बीटा थैलेसीमिया. एंड इफ देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑन द जीन ऑन 16th क्रोमोसोम, तो किस चेन का प्रोडक्शन कम होएगा?
Alpha. Globin.
So the disease will be which kind of a thalassemia?
Alpha thalassemia.
So basically we need to remember कि production rate कम हो रहा है, synthesis rate कम हो रहा है, and depending upon कि कौन सी chain कम बन रही है. When we talk about a hemoglobin chain, alpha chain is there and beta chain. Both are there, alpha globin chain and beta globin chain. Tell me, alpha globin chain is controlled by a gene which is located on which chromosome?
16th chromosome.
16.
Okay. Supposing a doctor diagnoses and he says, okay, in this individual, the gene which is present on the 11th chromosome is not very active. तो कौन सी chain का production कम हो रहा है?
Beta chain.
Beta chain. And the person will be suffering from which thalassemia?
Beta thalassemia.
Yes. And if a person is suffering from alpha thalassemia, then कौन सी gene में problem है? Which chromosome number?
16.
16. Good. Let's talk about cystic fibrosis. Very common lethal genetic disease. What do you mean by lethal? What is lethal, children? Something which causes death. Okay? Lethal means something which causes death. So this is the most common lethal genetic disease. Lot of deaths because of this disease. That is why we call it as the most common disease. यहाँ पे problem आता है on the 7th chromosome. Tell me, thalassemia में problem कौन से chromosomes पे आया था?
16th and 11th.
Yes,
11th.
16th and very good. See, this you will have to remember, children. In cystic fibrosis, there is a problem. 7th chromosome में कुछ mutation आ गया. Whenever we say mutation, it means sudden change. अब अगर ऐसा कुछ हो गया that there is a problem in the 7th chromosome, so body started producing abnormal glycoproteins. जैसे normal glycoproteins are produced in the body, ऐसा नहीं. Different abnormal glycoproteins are produced, which cannot be metabolized. Okay, इनको हम metabolize कर ही नहीं सकते, इनको हम digest नहीं कर सकते हैं, the humans, because they are abnormal. Yes, beta, they are abnormal glycoproteins, so obviously we cannot digest them. This is one issue that we have with this. Now what happens is, because of this, our salt metabolism is interfered. अब sugar level and salt level दोनों balance रहता है body में. ये जो glycoproteins हैं ये थोड़े abnormal है, तो ये पूरा spread out करने start हो जाते हैं, तो sugar level तो बढ़ जाता है, लेकिन salt का metabolism नहीं हो सकता है. And you know कि salt is obviously consumed every day, but salt is not being metabolized. The mucus which is secreted by the body becomes viscous